Welcome to the complete guide to the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, or simply put, walk into Mordor. The forces of the earth can be seen at work at the surface. This is what the Tongariro Alpine Crossing is all about, as well as one hell of a workout. You could almost be mistaken for walking on another planet. Go across landscape of craters, active volcanoes, scattered pumice, mountain springs, lava flows, scoria and mounds of volcanic rocks, looking like they have been carved into statues. Then you have a contrast of colors with the perfect blue and emerald lakes to the fiery red crater. No wonder the Tongariro Crossing is often described as one of the New Zealand's best one-day hikes. The area is also famous for its running with Mount Narirohe, or, to the Lord of the Rings fan, Mount Doom of Mordor. The 19.4 kilometers or 12-mile hike high into a volcanic alpine environment. It's a must-do in New Zealand, but it does require a bit of preparation, from packing the right equipment to booking your transport. You don't have to be incredibly fit for this walk, just prepared and determined. Let's start with the Tongariro Crossing checklist, what to pack. It is essential that you are prepared for all conditions, no matter what time of the year you go. So you need to have food, pack some lunch and snacks to keep you going, plenty of water, between 1.5 to 3 liters should be enough. Take about 3 liters if you are going to do side tracks and summits. Waterproof coat, not only to protect you against the rain, but it will keep you warm from the wind. Layers, whether it be thermals, walking pants, leggings, over trousers, etc. Hiking shoes or boots, sunscreen, hat in summer and beanie in winter, personal first aid kit, map and cell phone, and in winter you may need crampons and an ice axe and know how to use them. It is safer to go with a guide in these conditions. We have more advice on being prepared for any hikes in New Zealand on nzpocketguide.com. Now we'll go over terrain and track descriptions. The Tongariro Alpine Crossing is a one-way 19.4 kilometers, which is 12-mile track. At a comfortable speed with plenty of stop for photos or resting, we're not judging. It takes between 7 to 8 hours to complete. There is no admission fee to walk the trails. You will, however, need to budget for transport. We'll cover that more a little bit later. The Tongariro Alpine Crossing starts at the Mangatipopo car park on the west side of the mountains and ends at the Katetahi car park north of the mountains. You should start walking the Tongariro Crossing between 8 am and 9 am. Shuttles generally offer passengers the choice of times to start the hike between 6:30 am and 10:30 am.
Hāpachono tātou hono rātou tunga mate ki a rātou. Hāpachono tātou hono rātou tungora ki a tātou. So tēnā koutou, tēnā no tātou katoa. Kia tupatoto haerenga i ngā maunga katoa. Please be careful when you guys are walking on our mountains. And we'll just take a quick photo, just in case you get lost, we know who to look for.
Now, begin the Tongariro Crossing. From the Mangatipopo car park, follow the well-marked track of gravel and boardwalks up a steady gradient to the Soda Springs turnoff and some toilet facilities. Then, prepare for the steepest climb of the hike, known as the Devil's Staircase up the Mangatipopo saddle. You can either take the side trip up to Mount Narirohe and back, then continue on the Mangatipopo saddle between Mount Tongariro and Mount Narirohe. Follow the pole markers across the south crater to the crossing's highest point, the Red Crater, which is 1,886 meters high or 6,188 feet. Descend past the Emerald Lakes and take another quick climb skirting the Blue Lake. The rest is downhill from here to the Katetahi shelter, a good place to stop for lunch. Then, the final descent is about 2 hours of walking through native forest to the Katetahi car park. Extend your trip to the volcanic plateau with a couple of side trips. First up, Soda Springs, which is 15-minute return. A dainty waterfall that emerges in a boggy area perfect for moisture-loving vegetation. Start the 15-minute track near the head of the Megatipopo Valley before ascending up the Devil's Staircase. Next we have Mount Narihoe Summit, which is 3 hours return. This is it, Lord of the Rings fan, time to climb Mount Doom. Start from the Zealand Crossing at the South Crater. The route up is steep with no markers, so climb directly up Mount Narihoe Crater. The easiest way up is by the rocky ridge to the left of the scree slopes. Be careful of loose rocks and do not attempt in winter without the appropriate equipment. Finally, we have Mount Tongariro Summit, which is about 2-hour return. Start from the Zealand Crossing at the Raid Crater and follow the poled route to the summit, where you can get awesome views over the crossing track and see Mount Ruapehu in the distance. Okay, let's cover now the transport to the Tongariro Crossing. Because the Tongariro Alpine Crossing is a one-way track, you will need some sort of transport to either pick you up at the end of the track and take you back to your car at the starting point, or transport you from your accommodation to the start, then pick you up at the end and drop you back at your accommodation. Luckily, there are services to do just that. If you are parking at one car park and need picking up from the other end, you can book a shuttle service to take you back to your starting point.
I fell out of the shot.
What's your strategy to go down?
Face first.
In summer, between Labour weekend in October and April 30th, a 4-hour time restriction is in place at the Megatipopo road end, meaning that you will need to use one of the shuttle services if you are doing the full hike. For those who would prefer to be picked up and dropped off at their accommodation, there are a number of Tongariro Alpine Crossing shuttle services operating from Taupo, Turengi, National Park Village, Whakapapa Village and Hoakune. If you are staying somewhere in between, the shuttle services can usually pick you up on the way too. Check out activeoutdooradventures.co.nz for an affordable shuttle service. Transport bookings can be done yourself or through your accommodation. Your accommodation can usually give you weather updates to see if it is safe to do the crossing. For more information about transport, see nzpocketguide.com for our Tongariro Crossing accommodation and transport, a practical guide. Now let's cover the facilities on the Tongariro Crossing. First up, toilets. There are 9 long drop toilets located along the Tongariro Alpine Crossing track, including one at the Megatipopo Hut and Car Park and at the Katetahi Shelter and Car Park. When it comes to huts, they are reserved for overnight users, for those doing the Tongariro Secret Great Walk. If you need to use them for shelter, leave wet boots and jackets outside. As for water, make sure that you take enough drinking water with you for the whole trip. There is water supply at the hut for rainwater, but do not drink water from the streams due to the high mineral content. Finally, let's talk rubbish. Make sure that you take your rubbish with you. There are no bins on the hike, so take your rubbish out of the park with you, including your cigarette butts. For more details on the Tongariro Crossing's facilities, check out the Department of Conservation or DOC website. The best time of the year to tackle the Tongariro Crossing is in summer, which in New Zealand runs from November to April. It offers red, fiery landscapes as well as amazing facilities and an easy walk, albeit breathtaking in any sense of the way. You can also tackle the Tongariro Crossing in winter, however, you will need to join a guided tour that will provide you with all the equipment and know-how to do this amazing crossing. I hope that you enjoyed this guide to the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Feel free to subscribe to the channel where we share a ton of tips about traveling in New Zealand. And if you want more about the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, check out nzpocketguide.com. It is New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's completely free to use and you'll find a ton of information to plan an epic trip to New Zealand. Kia ora!
Yo!
Woo! Made it through the wilderness.
Everybody come and cheers, come and cheers.
I should cheers.
Well guys, we actually made it. Woo!